I know you have kids. What is it? What do you do? What's your other life? Or what do you do? Or what have you done that brought you?
So I'm a home care nurse. I've been a nurse for 26 years. I went right out of high school to nursing school. My kids, I have a son who's 11. My girls are 14 and 16.
Each.
Um, with that,
That's a lot.
yeah, they're awesome. I mean, they make it easy because they're just like great kids. They are my light, and I hate to sound so like a mom, but I really do adore them. And a lot of what I do is with them in mind, especially when it comes to, women's stuff that really drives me with my girls. And, the truth of the matter is, I could sit here and do nothing, nothing, not fight for anything, not really give a shit about anything. And the truth is, no matter who's in that White House or what's going on, my life probably really isn't going to change. It's just not. Like, I don't have these the only thing I'm missing is a penis and millions of dollars. That's what would put me up a couple levels, but I'm just,
Me
I'm
too,
a
and I'm
white,
married to a man.
I'm, I'm a white middle class lady who, there's nothing that's like is really going to affect my actual life, my ability to make money, my ability to take care of my kids and live in a nice house and a nice neighborhood and all that stuff. But I just think when you have privilege and you have a voice, I'm able-bodied. I mean, all the things. There's just so many things that I have that other people don't. So I really could just sit in like this. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to look at it. And my life wouldn't change. But I'm trying to teach my kids, like, it is your responsibility to use your voice for people who don't have one, or people who aren't listened to, or whatever the case may be.
This past few days, I feel like you've been a little sad, but which is fine to talk about as well, because I think that's what's amazing about this platform, that people are vulnerable and unexpectedly real.
Yeah, which I never planned on being actually on TikTok. I got on to escape everything during the pandemic and was just lip syncing and being a goofball. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm not even going to talk. Nobody's going to know nothing about me. I'm just going to be silly and, whatever. I figured if I had 100 people that followed and, interacted with me, that would be awesome. And then I guess George Floyd, once that happened, I was just like, I can't just come on here and slap on a fake mustache and be goofy and act like all this isn't going on. I have to talk about it. It just isn't right to act like that's not going on. For me, it feels like. I know that's why people go to social media. Once I started getting political on Facebook years ago, people complain, I just want to see your kids and what you're eating for dinner. And I'm like, all right, you guys don't want to talk about anything that's going on. The world's burning in front of us, but we're just gonna look at the meatloaf. Okay. So I've always been conflicted by that.
Right.
Because there's times I'd like to escape too for a minute. But anyway, I guess that's when I started just saying things and kind of went from there.
So do you feel like you have like a certain sense of obligation to keep a certain amount of, honesty about how you feel about stuff? Or like how did that change your relationship to social media?
I don't know how to do, but unless I'm, acting out to a lip sync or being silly. If I'm on, I don't know how to do anything else but just be who I am. I'm not trying to put on airs. I'm not trying to be any kind of way than what you see is what you get. all the time in my regular life. Somebody did ask me that, are you like this in real life? I'm like what? I'm just talking to you guys, you know? So it's not like I feel an obligation to be honest and authentic. I just am. I don't know what else would I be. What else would I be, you know? I talked about Cuomo today, and because I haven't heard anybody talk about it, and I thought I'm just going there, and people aren't, some people aren't going to like what I have to say, and I don't care. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not trying to build a living off of a social media presence. So I just say what I want to say.
I just want to be able to see that if in fact we have accumulated people that will see 2 seconds worth of our shit and they're willing to register to vote, or potentially if there's somebody that we connect with that happens to be in Louisiana and there's like a Republican that's like borderline a Marjorie Taylor Greene that's being, somebody Democratic, young as whatever, then if you can have one more vote, then I feel like this is it.
That is everything. Getting out the vote is literally everything, and it is the bare minimum that anybody should be doing.
And especially what's going on with voter suppression now is so horrifying.
Oh my God. I get like panicked. Like the feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. You're just standing there watching. There's nothing to do. They're being openly like, we got to do this so we don't lose. We got to do this so the blacks don't vote. Like they're just saying it.
It's like the 1920s, shit kickers.
It's crazy. I can't even, every day I'm just like, and your jaw drops. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. So voting, that's it. And they're just making it so hard, even though voting is the thing you have to do. It's like, we have to get people there no matter what. I mean, what is this thing? You can't bring food and drink to somebody standing in line?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what the is that? What if you're diabetic? What if there's people who need to take meds? They need food with it. That alone should be a reason for that not to be legislated.
Well, we're at a point now where everything is very ratcheted up. We have to lose the filibuster in order to.
Have to, and I don't. How do you think that's going to go?
You know what? I am a die-hard optimist.
Oh God, good for you.
The fact that Joe Biden won gives me every reason to maintain optimism. I knew Trump wasn't going to win.
Georgia, the fact
I knew Trump wasn't going to win. Everyone was naysaying me, and I knew. Now it's not because I know everything, which is what I do. It's true. It's horrifying, but I just knew that the karma on this planet was not going to allow that to happen. Or else it would have just been right into World War III, annihilation, end. You know what I mean?
I was super optimistic. I mean, it wasn't like I didn't have a doubt, because it's just, look at everything that happened, but I really felt like it was going to go our way, and I did feel good about it. But I had my moments where I was like,
I refused to give it.
Shit.
Nope. Anyway, so that point is that and the reason why I'm still optimistic is because what that win proved is that our systems still do work by the chair of our chinny chin chin.
Exactly.
But I feel like even if all these voter suppression laws go onto the books, if you don't think people are going to drag their sorry ass out in droves, because what I said, that guy, Lord you know who Lord Timotheus is? I said to him yesterday, I said, listen, the reality is what happened in the 60s, you didn't have half the amount of support that you have now. So you're not alone. It's not just you and like LBJ, trying to scrap up some whatever. You're going to have people, what happened because of George Floyd is going to come full circle. And come 6-7 months before this election, it's going to be mad dash to get people registered and groups. And I want to be part of getting people registered with music and turning it into like events for young people, because everyone has all this faith in Gen Z, and I do too, but they didn't pull out huge numbers.
Right.
They did not pull out.
Well, the youth vote alone and the women vote alone could determine elections, every election.
Right.
If we just got the women out, we could determine elections. So
exactly.
Everybody, I think we're just so not used to it. We've just been, abused and gaslighted and lied to for so long. It's like we've been in an abusive relationship. We're still
Definitely.
And when people behave completely normally, like the first time we saw Jen Psaki, it was like, well, what the is this?
I was like, huh?
She's just being normal, and we're all like, oh my god, that's weird. That's weird. We shouldn't be freaking out because someone's being normal and professional and not lying. But we're all like psychologically up from the 4 years of bullshit craziness.
Yeah.
So to just see somebody be calm and lead and be confident and seemingly care about everybody and not be picking on people and name calling and hating the Republicans and normal, boring, normal. I embrace it. I love it.
There's one story about Joe Biden that I knew leading into the whole campaign that I always kind of knew about, that I thought was such an amazing thing, that it was in my heart. I knew he had to win. It's a short little story. He did a Q&A at GW University when he was a senator still. And at the end of the class, a couple of guys were like, hey, Joe, you want to come out? We're going to have some brews with us. So he actually went out with a couple of these guys for drinks, and they hung out and they talked. And the guy, so this was maybe like 20 years earlier. And a guy actually said this on he had told this story. And 20 years later, he ended up going into politics, this kid, and was in Washington, D.C., and was on the train, and he saw Joe, and he nodded at him, and Joe walked over to him, remembered his name.
What?
Remembered his name, and they ended up sitting the train and going and having coffee. And I just thought, I don't remember my husband's name. I'm just saying.
I hear you.
And I just thought that is something that's really that's a gift. And that's the kind of gift that somebody's mind cares enough to remember little things like that.
Absolutely.
I want that guy to be my president.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen so many things of him, just comforting a kid, or, just taking the time. And I'm sitting there crying, it's just, he is just a genuine,
a good
sweet guy, and he might not be who a lot of people on the left want it, but I want it whomever was going to win.
Yeah. Definitely.
Whoever it was. If someone said it's going to be Bernie, I'd be like, all right, whoever's going to win.
Yeah, Bernie's awesome. There's no doubt. I just never thought he was going to jump.
Right. And I don't think he would have gotten shit done in the Senate. He wouldn't have gotten anything done.
Yeah, no. This was the best possible candidate. And
Absolutely.
I adore you, and I'm glad that you took the time, and stay tuned.
Yeah.
Be good.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Yes, you too. Be good.
Bye.